So far, Team USA has played in 4 exhibition games leading up to the 2024 Paris Olympics. In these games, they've canned Canada, they've ostracized the Aussies, and they've served the Serbs. Who's writing these jokes? While Team USA have been cruising through these first few exhibition games, there have been some alarming signs. I mean, I literally just got done watching this play against South Sudan, and it took a buzzer beater by LeBron James, and even then, Anthony Edwards just missed a box out, which honestly, it should have cost us the game. So today, we're here to find out if Team USA is in fact in trouble. Currently, the Team USA roster consists of these players. And obviously not these players. Jaylen Brown to me is the first obvious snub. This year, Brown had an amazing season, helping the Boston Celtics win their 18th championship, along with winning both the Eastern Conference MVP and the Finals MVP. I know he's somewhere just punching the air right now. The fact that they have 3 Celtics and none of them are named Jaylen Brown. Drew Holiday, he's just a better fit. I love Drew Holiday, but are you trying to tell me that Jaylen Brown wouldn't fit in well with this squad? And to top it off, once Kawhi dropped out, they went and got my evil twin. That's the wrong Celtic. What is happening? Also, judging by his response, it wasn't a mutual decision. Kyrie Irving is another player that I believe deserves to be on the team. I think it's a bit more obvious why he was kept off the team with his previous comments and political views, but this is basketball, not politics. Also, speaking of politics, I just watched Hulk Hogan give a press conference about the presidency earlier today.
Let Trumpomania run wild, brother.
We are in fact living in a simulation. Anyways, I would absolutely not vote for Kyrie for president. Absolutely wouldn't allow him to fly a plane because he thinks the earth is flat, but I would absolutely want him to represent Team USA on the basketball court. Just like keep him away from social media and microphones for like a few weeks or something. Other players I think should have been considered: Jalen Brunson, who carried literally all 7 of his Knicks teammates in the postseason, and he was a part of the 2023 FIBA USA team. Probably not great on your resume. Or Paolo Banchero, to add another young but certainly versatile play style to the roster. At 21, being able to play the 2 through the 4 drastically help us on the defensive end. I mean, we lost Kawhi, who is a 3-man. Surely we go get another 3-man. Other good choices: Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, and Zion Williamson. I believe they're all injured though, or stuck in a line at Burger King. I think the way that we select for Team USA, it should be far more streamlined. Remove the politics and money incentives and shoe sponsors, and I think you end up with the best possible team each year. I think having the all NBA teams decide who qualifies for the Olympics could be one way to do that. Also, not having current NBA coaches on the coaching staff could help put more emphasis on Team USA rather than their own self-interests. Those changes alone would make the all NBA team selections much more important and wouldn't have us scratching our heads when we end up with rosters like these. So the biggest threats: Team Canada, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is going to be an extremely tough team to beat on paper, and they pose probably the most threat to Team USA, if they can make it out of their pool, that is. They will need to go through Australia, Spain, and Greece, and while Giannis is better than most international teams all by himself, I don't think Greece will have enough firepower to overcome some of the more star-studded teams. Serbia, who is in the same pool as Team USA, their guard play isn't anywhere close to comparable to Team USA's. You can never overlook the impact that Jokic has on the inside and his ability to just lift his entire team. Finally, in Group B, you have last year's World Cup champs Germany, but more importantly, you have France. This is the team that I think is going to be the scariest wild card and also the most fun to watch. Generational talent Victor Wembanyama has the ability to dominate the game on both ends, especially paired up with Rudy Gobert. I know a lot of casuals are going to say Rudy Gobert isn't that good, but the way he's allowed to play in FIBA and be so much more physical, he's a real force on the defensive end. Looking at these two on the court, it's almost comical. It's like a AI generated video or something. It's like the human proportions just look off, makes the whole thing look unrealistic. I also think it's important to remember that this is a single elimination tournament, so all it takes is for Team USA to not have a great shooting night or one of these other teams to catch fire, and that could knock us out of the tournament. Which brings us to the difference in play styles. America has dominated majority of the Summer Olympics in the past. I would largely argue that's due to our population and sheer number of athletes that we can choose from. For other countries to compete, they can't just rely on their sheer talent like we've been able to do. So they've needed to develop far better game plans and camaraderie. I think this was extremely evident in last year's World Cup, where Team USA took 4th place. Ew. The rest of the world, they're catching up. A few months ago, I watched an extremely good video by Michael McKelvey, who broke down statistically the play styles of Team USA and the rest of the world. It's an excellent video and I highly recommend you go watch it. But already with the exhibition games these past few weeks, there have been some very alarming signs in the way Team USA has been playing. Talent-wise, our guys are just better. The way that we're able to generate one-on-one baskets is unreal, and at times it's unfair. And that's exactly what my concern is. One-on-one greatness is good for showing dominance here and there, but having an offense to go to when shots aren't falling or ways to generate consistent, easy matchups is something we just don't value as much for some reason here in America. Taking a look at several games just from this year's playoff shows the general style of play that is so far translated to our Olympic team. You basically get a lot of 2-man actions or 3-man actions, so like a pick and roll or dribble handoff actions, and after that we get into our driving kicks. I personally prefer watching and playing FIBA basketball much more. While it does still value athleticism to some extent, that's only like a small piece of the puzzle. Basketball IQ and fundamentals shine far more, and it leads to less parity. The teams that have the better game plans and execute win far more than the teams with bad game plans but slightly better players. So for the moment, Team USA still has the better players, but some international teams have the better game plans. We'll show this play here, where we get our 3-man game into our drive, we get a back cut, and now we're in our swing, find the open shooter, and he knocks it down. So not that there's anything wrong with it, just a very different style. This is literally the very next play. I couldn't have scripted this any better. This is literally the next play for Serbia. You can even see here the point guard is calling the play out as they go up the court. So calling a play to get everyone set up, everyone on the same page. Whereas in the NBA, generally, you're kind of calling out an action. So we'll see what happens here, but just watch how many actions that Serbia goes through, that they could all be an option for a shot, but look how many actions they go through before they take the shot. I didn't even see if they ended up shooting it or turning it over, but as it was building up, you can already just see the stark difference in the way these two teams play. So calling out the play, we get into a pick and roll action here, kind of like a Spain pick and roll. We get a pick and roll into a back screen. This actually ends up into a down screen, but we swing, try to get this mismatch here. Not on, so we hit. Now we're into our next action. So we got our flare screen being set, and again, it looks like another back screen is going to come. This is another kind of weird off-ball Spain pick and roll. And again, look how many mismatches we're creating. So we created all these actions, all these mismatches. We still got, rather than how Jason Tatum was kind of just standing in the corner of a play that we broke down a little bit ago, look how many actions we got into to get this guy to the corner. But also we've created a mismatch. So this player here can be patient for Jokic on Edwards. While they're fighting through this and talking about how they're going to switch, this is when the one-on-one opportunity now presents itself. So there's so many options, so many looks. Team USA had to defend so many actions just to get to this point. Then the one-on-one happens. So we'll see what the result is. And still into another action. He ended up not going because, again, just one-on-one. Individual brilliant defense, but then that team defense comes in. So Bam Adebayo, they didn't correctly talk out this switch, so now we're into a 2-on-1 situation here. Anthony Davis forced to switch out, still have the mismatch, and then we had, I didn't see who that was, but coming backside to help defend. Jokic strong with the ball, finds the open shooter over here. I'm assuming he always makes the right play. Wide open three. So a lot of people will look at that and be like, well, Team USA made their three and Serbia missed their three. But I think if this is how you're looking at games and this is how you're breaking them down, you can see Team USA, like, we're just individually brilliant. So individual brilliance can kind of create our offense, whereas Serbia And a lot of international teams, they just play a lot more high-level IQ basketball. So they don't rely on the individual brilliance, and that's also because they don't have as talented of players for the most part. All 5 of their players aren't as talented, so they work together better as a team, and they still find these types of results. So in conclusion, Team USA, you in trouble. Not really. I do still think Team USA is going to win gold. However, I wouldn't be shocked if they have extremely close games, or if someone like France has a hot shooting night and they take the win. Kevin Durant being healthy would help make Team USA overwhelming favorites and practically guarantees them gold. Shooting has already proven to be one of the most important attributes in all of the exhibition games so far, and Team USA has that all around the roster. The only other concern I have is that if we're unable to play successfully against the size and physicality of maybe a Serbia, but so far it hasn't shown to be too much of an issue. Does USA win gold? I believe so. Do any of the other countries even stand a chance? Absolutely. This year more than ever. USA, 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 USA.